again with another Sephora video. Surprise, surprise. This is actually a video that I did during the last Sephora sale, and so many of you guys seem to enjoy it, and I certainly enjoyed making it. So what I did is I picked a lot of items that I am loving that aren't necessarily as new and trendy, didn't deserve a place on the Sephora recommendations pretty much because I've talked about them on my channel. They're kind of old news. So a lot of these are old news products that I am still loving, still using, are still semi-staple products in my makeup routine. So if we went to Sephora, they might not be the hottest, newest products, but if you pointed to them, I would be like, oh yeah, definitely recommend that. Really good. So you're gonna get ready with me, and I'm just gonna talk about some other products at Sephora that excite me and that I use a lot off camera. Come closer, child. So starting off with base, I mean, I feel like this is still kind of a new-ish product. It wasn't new enough to put in my Sephora recommendations, but I'm still using it a lot and loving it. So don't forget about the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum. This is one of my favorite glowy bases before makeup. It also really looks good on the skin alone if you just want to be glowing out in the sun with no makeup. And it smells like cantaloupe. It truly is such a wonderful scent when applying, though if you are anti-fragrance, beware of this because the smell of cantaloupe is so fruity and wonderful. But as somebody who is not deterred by fragrance in my products, I love this and I love the experience of smelling it. But do you see how pretty this looks just on its own? It's one of those serums that look great without any makeup on, but it also really hydrates the skin for makeup that goes over top. So I really, really love this one, and I definitely think that it deserves a mention for the Sephora sale because it is worth it. It is so good, and it's discounted. We love a discount. Now, I did more or less try to pick brands that don't have sales that often. I mean, one of the benefits of the Sephora sale, even though a lot of these brands might have like friends and family sales on their own, is it saves you time of having to like wait individually for these sales. It's a one-stop shop at Sephora, you know. So for foundation though, I chose a brand that does not really go on sale. That's Dior, and this is the Forever Skin Glow Foundation. I think I like this more than when it first came out, and I've always loved this foundation, but I feel like it ages like fine wine or something. I like it more. It's more to my preference nowadays. This is the like third reformulation I've bought of this because they keep reformulating it, but it's good every time. It hits every time. So I have the shade 2N. It's a pretty thin consistency compared to a lot of other foundations that I use. And why I like this is because it looks really thin on the skin. It doesn't cake up, and it does give such a pretty skin-like glow. I mean, I've talked about this foundation for years, literally. I mean, I've always loved this foundation, but I feel like lately with what type of foundation is trending, it is a glowier base, especially with summer coming up. And this one is better than all of the new ones that are launching because it doesn't look heavy on the skin. It doesn't emphasize pores or texture or anything like that while giving a really healthy glow. It's just better than all of the new ones that have launched. So I find, as somebody who tests the new makeup and is constantly using newer makeup, because that's kind of like my job, you know, it's always a breath of fresh air when I can go back to this foundation to achieve the look without having to fight the thickness and unflatteringness of the new ones that have launched in the last year. So if you're looking for a good everyday kind of skin glowy foundation, I'd go with this one. Dior doesn't really go on sale that often, so this is a great pickup. It's really a good luxury foundation. And remember, I mean, not that I'm encouraging you to spend more money, but like, it is a bigger discount. Not discount, but you save a little bit more money with the luxury products. It's more impactful, I guess, because 20% in the gram scheme of things, I feel like it's not that much sometimes. But I'll take what I can get. Don't get me wrong. Do you see how thin the foundation looks on the skin? It just looks so natural. Now let's go ahead into brows. I wasn't sure what brow pens I wanted to use because there's so many good ones, especially that are more affordable. But lately, you know what I've been using a lot that's really good is the Patrick Ta Major Defining brow pencil. Major Brow Defining Pencil. That's the name. This is really good. I've been using this a lot off camera or whenever I just need to throw something on my brows. I've been enjoying it. So I think just by the amount of use, it deserves a mention. And it really is a nice, fine pencil. The tip is so fine. I don't know, lately I've had this like sperm brow going on. I don't know where I went wrong with plucking them, but I've been having to fill in this area so my eyebrows don't look like a you-know-what. We've all been there, but dang, it's been bothering me. I've been trying to let the hairs grow in that little space so my brow doesn't look like that anymore. But you can see how thin it is, making it so great for quick hair-like strokes. It doesn't deposit too much color. It's perfect. Now, brow gel. You already know where I'm going with this if you've been watching my videos for the last year that this has launched. The Too Faced Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax. This did not get a proper mention in my recommendations, though I did slip in that you should pick it up because it's my favorite brow gel ever. If you have brows that don't like to listen, your brows will listen to this. My best brow days are the days that I use this product. It separates my brow hairs so well to make my brows look more thick. And whatever direction I push my brows in, it's gonna stay there for the rest of eternity. I'm pretty sure they would. This has a strong hold, and I feel like it doesn't feel too strong. Now, I did pull a second recommendation because I have had some of you tell me that for you, this is just a little too heavy duty, and if that's the case, I always love a good Benefit 24-hour brow setter. This one also holds the brows really good, but it's a little less thick on the eyebrows, so this one is really good also. But like the Too Faced Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax, if you want that laminated look, this is how you do it. It's with this product. So now let's go ahead and move into the eyes, starting off with eye primer because I do think a good eye primer is important. And the one that I recommend picking up from Sephora is the ABH eye primer. I do think they sell a mini size if you want to save a little bit more money because a little goes a long way. And this is good especially if you like colored eyeshadow. Now, I'm more of a neutral girl, but it's good to have this. Like, I don't really need to be using it today, but I'm just going to show you because it does have such a bright base to it that it is going to make whatever colors you put on top really stand out. So I'm just gonna put some on my eyelid. You can really kind of add a thicker layer if you need it to be nice and bright for some bright colors. And it has a very thin consistency, and I think colors blend over it easily while still giving it some hold for longevity. And again, it just makes those colors brighter, so give me a sec. So let's talk eyeshadow. I wanted to pick a brand that didn't have sales and that really was going to be worth your while, maybe something you might not normally pick up. And I picked a Dior eyeshadow palette. And I've been off of Dior lately because I feel like their launches that were limited edition have really been on or off. But this one is a good one. It's a complete hit. It's very good basic cool tone neutrals. It's something that I'm going to reach for all the time. I do reach for, not all the time because I have such a large collection, but when I think of a good cool tone neutral palette, this is what I go for, and it truly is such a beautiful, luxurious formula. It's pricier, which is why I think this is a great option to pick up during this event. So we're just going to do it. I'm going to use this shade right here, which is shimmery. But fear not, it'll be okay. We'll get some powder on this eye primer too. So I'm just gonna place a little bit of color. And this is mighty in the pigment department. You get a lot more pigment than you'd expect. So start off by laying the color down first, because I just did one dip and that covered both eyes. And then I'm going to clean my brush, and now after it's cleaned, you can see I'm blending it out and keeping it soft. And this is the order that I like to do my makeup if you're new here. I don't put concealer on in case we have any fallout. I don't want it to fall on top of the makeup, but I love a good clean base, which is why I put the foundation on first. So you see how beautifully that blended out? Such high quality. And I've talked about this palette before. This has been in multiple favorites videos in the past, but I thought I'd resurrect it for this video because it is such a good pickup. So I'm picking up this dark matte brown shade, and I'm putting it in the outer corner, just circling it in there. And then once I've placed my color down, because this palette does hold so much pigment, I wipe it off on a towel to get the excess pigment off. And then I'm gonna push and mush and blend the rest of the color to make it look really clean. And this is so flattering for so many skin tones. It's one of those palettes where it's definitely an investment because it is not cheap for 5 shades, but it is worthwhile in the quality that you get, where it's effortless, it's beautiful. This is very flattering. It's so good for so many different occasions. Then I'm going to go in with this middle shade right here with a shader brush. This is just a shimmery brown, but I'm going to put that all over the eyelid. I want to give kind of an effortless eye look today, really simple. And you can get even prettier with this shade right here because this has a little extra glimmer to it. I don't want it to be too glimmery today, so I'm just going to pat it in the center of the eyelid where it bulges out the most. Just kind of highlight that area. And then to finish off this look, there's the shimmery white shade, and I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner for a little bit of light right here, as well as underneath the brow bone. Keeping it simple today. This is all we're doing with eyeshadow until we get to the lower lash line. But I love this. It is worth the money, especially if you can get it on a discount. It's a beautiful palette. Now, I actually wanted to use a color corrector today because I feel like my under eyes have been a little bit more discolored than usual lately. So one of my favorite ones at Sephora is from Charlotte Tilbury, and Charlotte Tilbury is another one of those brands that really doesn't go on sale very often. So these are the under eye color correctors. I think today I'm going to use number 2 medium. And they keep it really simple in terms of color theory here. Peach is a pretty universal color correcting shade, especially for the under eyes. And I like this formula because I think they keep it really thin. I think I applied too much, but that's okay. And I love how cute and compact the packaging is, but this is really good if you have a lot of blue on the under eyes. So I'm just gonna do that. And I feel like especially with the shades that I use, they can translate as making me look tired because they're brown. I'm talking about the eyeshadow. This is great to kind of awaken them. And now for concealer, a really good one that I feel like has never been at the super top of my favorites list. So I haven't talked about it as much, but it is a really good concealer that I find to use a lot because it's versatile. The finish is really pretty. It's always been at the top of the list, but not at the very top, so it deserves a mention. I use it all the time. This is the One Size Turn Up the Base Butter Silk Concealer. I have learned to love this more with time. I always thought it was good, but I can tell it's really good because I always reach for it. I find it to be very reliable. Now, I have the shade Light 3N, but I will have it linked down below. This one is a little bit more yellow, another great one if your under eyes have been looking a little sallow. So I'm going to start off with just a little bit. I'm going to use my Rephr sponge, which just launched, by the way. I believe they're having like a 40% off sale. So I think you can get this for like $5 or something like that. But I like this because it really does give a good amount of coverage as well. So if you're looking for something more full coverage, this is on the heavier duty side, but I don't find that it looks too thick. It's pretty thin for giving the amount of coverage that it gives. And I feel like the finish, pretty natural looking as well. Just gonna use the sponge to push that out. And before I set with powder, I have a couple cream products that I want to mention. This is one that I haven't talked a lot about since it launched, but I am still very much using these regularly. So these are from Makeup by Mario, and they're the soft sculpt transforming skin enhancers. And these are kind of like a really sheer bronzer, like a sheer cream bronzer. And why I like this is on my no makeup days, This sits beautifully on the skin without anything underneath. It just gives you that little bit of bronze. So if you put this directly on the skin on the outskirts and then a little bit of concealer on the inner part, you look like you got your ish together. You look much more put together than you really are. But since I have coverage underneath, I'm going to use a darker shade than I normally use, light medium. But on my no makeup days, I like the shade light on bare skin. So like I said, this does not give coverage. As you can see, it's pretty sheer, but that's how it's supposed to be. It's like a bronzing tint is how they describe it. It's supposed to warm the face with just a tint. It's not going to give you as much color as a normal cream bronzer would, but can you see this side to this side? It gives just enough shape to the face, which I think is really pretty if you're wearing minimal makeup and you're going for that minimal look. So this one is really, really good. It doesn't get talked about a lot, and a reason I don't talk about it a lot is because I wear lots of makeup in my videos. I talk about lots of makeup. So this is the one that gets used off camera for the days that I don't want to look like I'm wearing too much makeup. But even in this case with a darker shade, it still looks pretty over top of my foundation. But I really love that light shade for very, very natural days. And it blends into the skin like butter. It has a little bit of like a luminosity to it that's really pretty. Definitely an underrated product in the Makeup by Mario line, if you ask me. They also have a powder that you can put over top. I don't like the powder as much as I like the cream product. And then for cream blush, I haven't even really given this its moment on my channel. This is from Rose Inc. It's the Lip and Cheek color. I have mine in the shade Heliotrope. I love the colors that this brand comes out with, and I think the cream blush formula is really beautiful. It's kind of like the concealer, where this isn't the best cream blush on the market, but it's definitely worth the pickup. It's really beautiful. It's something that I reach for pretty often because I love the colors and the quality is nice and reliable. So this might be something you want to look into. They have a lot of beautiful wearable colors. I do have some powder blushes that I'm going to talk about today, but I did want to give this a little moment because it is worth considering picking up if you're looking for a new cream blush to test out. Like, it's so natural and it lasts a long time because it's a little bit stickier than a lot of cream blushes that I typically prefer. But for it being stickier, it doesn't pick up any of the product underneath. It's just a nice formula. I think the standout for this for me are the colors that they have to offer. I really enjoy this one, and it hasn't gotten its moment on my channel, so I wanted to give it to it because pretty, right? Now to set the face a little bit on the under eyes, I put out the Makeup Forever Ultra HD setting powder. This one is so good. I use it all the time. I love the color. It's brightening, it's blurring. Really great powder to pick up from Sephora. Makeup Forever, they do have friends and family sales and stuff like that, but I really like this and I recommend it if you're looking for a new translucent setting powder. I feel like it is kind of a heavier duty powder because it does give a little bit of coverage and it will flatten the face out. But like, look at it, set side, not set side, it really snatches you and puts you together. I actually like applying this though a little bit better with a sponge to kind of give it that baking look. But I press it in, I don't fully bake, but I think it applies really good with a damp sponge like this to just push it into the skin because like I said, it is a heavier duty powder. It's gonna lock you in, set you in. So I like forcing it into the makeup to like combine, be one. Okay, and then whatever's left on my brush, just gonna put in the T-zone to keep me not sweaty looking today. And this really does help the longevity of makeup as well. And then if you're looking to sculpt with it, there is a little bit of coverage that this gives, so you can totally contour down the nose, down here as well if you would like. Now, powder products. For powder bronzer, I wanted to give Fenty Beauty a moment because they really do have some amazing shades of bronzers and really nice quality. I love this Shady Biz shade. I don't reach for it as often as I should, but it is a very nice product. Now, Fenty Beauty is one of those brands where they do have sales. They do have like 25–30% off the website, so they're not a must pick up during the Sephora sale. But I really wanted to pull out this bronzer because it's nice. I wanted to talk about it. It's a perfect shade. They have as you know, as Fenty does. Every shade under the sun, they cater to everybody, so they're just a good pickup to have. And then for powder blush, I'm excited to talk about this because I feel like these launched, so many people talked about it, reviewed it, and then we never talked about it again. Myself included, but this is a great brand to pick up during the sale because they never go on sale. Gucci Beauty. And I'm talking about their new-ish, at this point, blush debutés. I picked up 4 shades. These are very expensive blushes. Love the packaging of these. I didn't think they were anything extraordinary, but it really is about the experience with these, purchasing an item from Gucci with these. So yeah, it's definitely for the name. The formula itself isn't a game-changing product, but if you've been wanting these, this is about the only time you're gonna get these on sale. I was gonna use this rosy beige shade, but I'm actually feeling something a little brighter to awaken my face. So I'm going to use Radiant Pink, I think, today. This is a Rephr number 4 brush. Yeah, this is perfect. Just to give me a little color to the face, since our eyes are pretty neutral. And like I said, this formula isn't going to change your life. It's a good formula for sure, but it definitely is about the feeling of owning a Gucci blush. And I love Gucci Beauty. The packaging is stunning, so this is a good item to consider picking up for the sale if the price was originally off-putting to you. And then for highlight, I went in with the Dior Forever Couture Luminizers. These everybody reviewed and then nobody ever used these again, but I did. I've been using this all the time. I love these highlights. I think they are beautiful, and again, they're Dior, so they have a higher price point, but they don't go on sale. So today I'm going to use the shade Nude Glow. Lots of luxury items in this video, but I had to. This is the time if you're going to pick up luxury beauty to do it, because luxury beauty definitely has way less sales than like the mid-range products. And you see how this just goes so beautifully into the skin? I love the sheen that you get when you turn your face. I feel like not a lot of people were super impressed by these highlights, but I've always really, really liked them, and I'm constantly using them still. So I wanted to bring these to your attention. Beautiful highlights. I'm just quickly gonna finish the lower lash line. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just gonna use this shade first along the lower lash line, like so. And then I'm going to go into the matte shade and focus that on the outer corner. And then last for complexion, I pulled an all-time favorite of mine from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and I genuinely believe that this does help with the longevity of makeup, so I'm just going to spray this on really quick. Come on. Is this broken? And I love the smell of it. Okay, I'm going to give this a couple minutes to set in and dry down. Lo and behold, the most overpriced eyeliner in the world that is worth it. And in my opinion, should be picked up during the sale. This is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen, and it's hands down the best liquid eyeliner I've ever used. It's double-sided. There's a smaller side and there's a longer side. And this lasts forever. I feel like this doesn't dry out. I've had this one in particular. I have 2 of these in my collection right now, but I've had this one for over a year. And it's just so black, so precise. I feel like it makes applying liquid eyeliner so easy. Lasts forever, doesn't smudge. Okay, I can't talk while I'm doing this, but I'll tell you after. Boom! The best eyeliner, so black, goes good over. Glitter, lasts all day, and even though it is $60, I feel like it doesn't dry out. Like, I go through my drugstore liquid liners quicker than this one. And you also have the small tip if you need to do more precise work. I love it. I think it's a must pick up during the sale. It's my all-time favorite liquid liner. I'm gonna pick up another favorite mascara of mine. This is Armani Eyes to Kill. There's a ton of good mascaras at Sephora that I love. I just recently bought the Patrick Ta and Rare Beauty and Tower 28 mascaras. Those are some of my favorites that were repurchased. This is another one that I normally repurchase during the sale. It gives me everything I want my lashes to have. I recently stopped using eyelash serum because I moved and I packed it away and I was just like, whatever. And so my lashes are shrinking by the second. And then I picked up a new brand to try once I unpacked everything, and I had an allergic reaction to it. So I need to buy new lash because that's the brand that I use and I'm not allergic to. But in case you were wondering, I swore I've used Grande Lash before, but it's been a while. But I used Grande Lash again, and unfortunately, I think I had an allergic reaction to it. Has anybody had that happen? Which is a shame because I recommended Grande Lash because it really does work. Eyelash serums do work in general, but I don't know, my eyeballs, they rejected it. They were like, nope. But anyways, this mascara is banging nonetheless. I know it doesn't look like I have much lashes, but I don't. This is an improvement. I am going to put on some falsies though because I want to look cute today, and then we'll finish off with the lip products that I selected. Okay, so for lips, this is a lip liner that I've been recommending for a while, but it came to Sephora like months after the launch. These are the Tower 28 multi-liners. I love these as lip liners. They have 3 neutral wearable colors that go with so many different colors. I think today I'm gonna we'll use the dark one today, and then I'll use a really light inner color. Oh, jeez, I just dropped it. I will say I did lose the middle shade, which is in between these two, and I'm really upset about it because I really like that shade. But these are a drier formulation, which I like. Hold on. This is a drier formulation, but I like that. I feel like it lasts a longer time. It's easier to apply. You can blur it out really nicely. I like that this is more waxy. And then for lipsticks, one of my favorite lipstick formulation is from Natasha Denona. So I definitely recommend these. They are one of the creamiest lipsticks that I've tried. So I'm going to use the shade Natasha from the My Dream collection. They also have this in the permanent range, but I think it's a little bit more beigey, less mauvey. And I'm gonna use this because I feel like it's gonna blend in well with this lip liner. It also has more of a shine than the one in the permanent, but the Natasha Denona lipsticks are so creamy, and she also has really, really good shades. I love them. So comfortable. And then for lip gloss, I love the Dior lip glosses. They're pretty pricey. It's good to be able to get them on a discount. I'm going to use the shade number 13. This is actually one of their reformulated shades. It's pretty clear, but I'm going to use this one. I like the way that their lip glosses are formulated. I feel like they smooth over the lines of the lips. They make them look plump. They smell good. They're not too sticky. Just a beautiful, high-quality formula. And that's it. That's a full face of products that I love and are not to be forgotten at Sephora. Give me a minute. As anticipated, since I used some of my favorite products, the makeup just turned out gorgeous. I'm sure I've done looks that look like this a lot on my channel, but it really is just a foolproof look that's going to look great. The point was to talk about products that I really, really love from Sephora that maybe you might not be hearing about as much anymore because they aren't new and now products, but I think if you purchase them, you will really enjoy them. Definitely recommend these to you. I will have the link down below to shop the Sephora savings event, as well as all of the products that I linked down below and the shades that I use. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and being subscribed to my channel. Make sure you like this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.